Who's winning? We're all winning. On this edition of the Morning Roundup, Sharko has rounded first with a splendid showing. Very quick time. All the stuff that was made with the filament that didn't have recycled stuff came out essentially perfectly. Pretty much confirming that the issue with the filament extrusion system had something to do with the recycled material. I think today we're going to do a 20% mixture, but also we've got another big thing. This actually has the recycled material, and yeah, it came out, stringy but nice. I'd never really watched 3D printing YouTubers, as in like, I'd seen some 3D printing videos here and there, sort of, but never actually watched other people that have 3D printing shops. And since I'd never done that, I thought that I would look and see what they are doing and seeing if they're doing anything different or if there's some common trait among them, because I'm just curious. And people are doing very similar things to me, but I noticed that at least the people that had Etsy shops, they were all marking up their prices and then putting things on sale. Personally, I kind of hate the idea of, like, let's say you have something that's $20 and you mark it up 30%, so that would be 60 bucks or $6, so 26 total, and then putting it on sale for 30% off, thus making it, actually you have to do the math a little bit, it's not $20 again, but anyway, the point is marking it up and then making it cheaper so it's basically the same price it was before. This is something everybody seems to be doing. Like I said, I kind of hate tactics like this, but most of my competitors and almost everybody in the 3D printing space, or not even that, like people that sell t-shirts on Etsy and stuff, they all do this. And so I am going to do this. I've actually done this before. I ran like a 10% sale or something, and it did actually increase. It did increase sales. But what I'm thinking I'm gonna do is, like, if we're going to do this, we're gonna do this big. So what I'm gonna do is mark up my prices maybe like 35% and then put them on 40% sale. Like I said, I would not do this if I didn't feel like, this is just like an industry standard thing now. Every single person I looked at on YouTube that has an Etsy shop that runs a 3D printing business like me, maybe there was like one exception, but they all seem to do this. It's like a stupid manipulative thing, and I just feel like so dumb for doing it. But like, that's what gets you clicks, and that's just what it is. So we are going to retool all the listings to be that way. This is something that's going to take a while. I've introduced something like 500 products. I think I have 300 and some that are current. You discontinue things that are inefficient or people don't want or whatever it is. But yeah, we're gonna go through, we're gonna jack up the prices 35%, and then I'm gonna put it at 40% discount. So actually I have to think about the price. I want to make it cheaper than the prices currently are, so they actually are on sale. But anyway, you get what I'm doing. So we're going to do the price thing in a bit, but we're going to package some things to go out the door first. We're about to get into that, but I thought I would show some numbers on here. These are the watch hours. I need to reach 3,000. We're already at 600. In fact, that's a lagging indicator. It's closer to 800 right now. This is about how many views per day. I just added the average, which is the thing you see above change there. And that's about how many subs I'm gaining per day on average, based on, we've only got a few data points since I started keeping track. But we made a little chart for the watch hours. Maybe I'll make a chart for the other ones as well. But yeah, thought I'd show you that. Time to send this guy to his forever home. Bam! Oh yeah, I also meant to mention this morning, I hit a new low in my weights, so that's nice. But we actually got to go get some boxes. straight out of Nacogdoches, and you know I'm ferocious. Last night I was watching all these channels, and some of these people have like really, really big 3D printing operations. So it actually kind of makes it sort of funny that I named this series How to Run a 3D Printing Business, as if I am the ultimate person to listen to. Although I am a person to listen to, and I've had a 3D printing business for a lot longer than anybody else. None of these channels I watched had a, they had their business for 6 years. Like most of them were like 6 months or a year or something like that. Doing it over 6 years makes me like a dinosaur, but it also makes me like the village elder on the subject. Like, don't get me wrong, I do okay. And this Christmas could make 50, 60K easy just in about 30 days. But yeah, I'm not making millions per year like some of these guys. I do all right. Another thing is profit margins. Basically nobody makes their own filament because it's a huge pain. It is the ultimate pain in the butt that you will ever come across. Maybe that's an exaggeration. For some reason, when I'm always at this stop sign, I always feel like I need to hedge what I'm saying. But yeah, my margins are pretty killer. That's kind of why developing a proprietary recycling process is such a big deal, and why I'm trying to really get it right. Because like, dude, you can get people to send you plastic. Like, people will pay to send you their scrap plastic, or you can like pay their postage or something like that. It's like getting material for free. Think about somebody giving you filament for free. How much more money you could make. Like, that's what it's like. And so I've mostly gotten the recycling thing. We've had some hiccups in the last week or two that I've had to figure out. But I know a guy who's a chemical engineer that does something similar. He's not doing the same thing, but he uses like 30 to 40%. And I just know there's a way to get there. When I'm out sometimes, I like to plan what I'm gonna do when I get back to sort of be most efficient. I think what we're gonna do, we're gonna get these boxes, we're gonna get stuff packaged that has to go out today. Then we are going to do 20% mixture with the recycled material, which is finer than it was before, which theoretically should make it extrude better. And honestly, it looked really good. A lot of it was like powdery. Like, ultimately, the best thing would be is if the recycled stuff was literally powder, because it almost coats the raw pellets, and that makes it super, super even. But we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do the pricing thing I talked about earlier. Straight out of Nacogdoches. My haters are atrocious. They call me braggadocious. Delicious. At this point, this shot is mandatory. Warriors need warrior fuel. Can I get a large cold brew with cream?
Large cold brew with cream?
Yup.
Anything else for you?
No, that'll be it.
It'll be $4.54 at the window.
Thanks. Girl. The people here are friendly and personable. Body count is in effect, y'all. To be printing something. Now that we have the requisite boxes, Sharko number 2. Some cookie cutters. Man, cookie cutters used to be such a big category. We got a bunch of stuff in the front room for pickup, which the post office should be coming really soon. Now we just got to drop off these guys. Eventually, I want to get UPS pickup scheduled, but I'm pretty sure you have to pay for it. And there's the place I drop it off is 1 block away, so that's why we go to Klein's. But that may change in the future. Bam, Sharky boys. It's actually pretty nice out today. I'm looking forward to that nice later year Texas weather. If you've never been through winter in Texas, it's amazing. especially as somebody who grew up in the Midwest. I got a message from the customer yesterday that did the custom Velociraptor project, saying they're watching these videos. It made me realize that this is going to be a really good thing for my customers. It's like everybody that orders stuff online that's like a handmade thing or a custom made thing, they're probably always wondering, you know, they're like wondering if it's being made, wondering if it's gonna ship, blah 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 blah. And now you can just watch it. I'm like the only person you could buy from online that you're gonna see your order being made, I think. I mean, maybe I'm not the only one. Let me know in the comments if anybody else is doing this, because I actually do want to know. But I feel like that's kind of new. Very special delivery for somebody. It sucks that the AC basically has gone out on my car, and I could add Freon, but it's just starting to cool down. So I think I'm gonna wait till after winter, because you're just not gonna need it. People say that thing that nothing tastes as good as being healthy feels. I would say that's super not true. I've lost 30 pounds, maybe a little more than 30 pounds, and it does feel good, but it's nowhere near as good as food tastes. I don't know if you ever heard this, but food tastes amazing. Heck yeah, Bitcoin is pumping, baby. All the rolls that we've done without recycled material have come out very, very good. This is really just turning out nice. So now we're going to reintroduce recycled material. If you watched the last episode, some of the changes I made was I filtered the recycled material better so we get smaller pieces. Smaller pieces melt more easily. And I dehydrated the recycled pieces for longer, which also helps. Plastic, especially PLA, it can absorb moisture quite easily. So I normally dehydrate it, but I kind of dehydrated it for a long time, and we'll see if that makes a difference. But I think we're going to introduce 20% recycled material for this batch, and we'll see where that gets us. We'll mark the spools and track their progress. There, look at that. A lot of that is just like powdery. Powdery is what you want. It was a little hard to draw a dot while it's moving, but we're going to put the orange dot on the outside and the blue dot on the inside, because this is the stuff that doesn't have recycled material, and recycled material will be on top of that. Orange dot will be the new code for with the 20% recycled material, and we will see if it does okay. All right, I'm doing the price thing. Eventually gonna have to do all 300 or 400 products, however many I have, but we're just starting with the greatest hits first. Just did a whole bunch of listings and we're gonna do more, but we're officially 40% off. Okay, I've done about half the listings, and we will see how much this works. Made the tacos again, but I only had so much taco meat, and I did have some bacon, so I made them bacon al pastor tacos. So it's pretty early. I just did that price thing, and I already made like 2 sales right away. I mean, I don't want to get my hopes up, but man, especially over the weekend, weekends are always better sales. This could become real. So I realize you guys might not know this, but I'm actually the person who did the first head-shaped headphone stand, as in like in the shape of famous people's heads and stuff. You can see David here. And after I did that, dozens of companies were formed that copied me basically. And one thing that's ironic about this whole price thing is since I can manufacture my own filament and stuff, I'm typically a lot cheaper than the competitors. So it's just funny that I have to do this whole shenanigans, making things 40% off in order to like just emphasize the fact that I'm already cheaper than everybody else. In a sense, it's like you are, if the message is, am I getting a good deal? The answer has always been yes. I'm out here very near the sunsets. There should be something called Jeffrey the Referee. We're almost done here at the shop, but the pricing thing worked. I mean, look, it worked tonight. We'll see the weekend that's coming up, but I've sold like twice as many things as I was expecting to sell. That pricing thing worked, man. I'm glad I've watched some of these other people on YouTube that show their print farms and how they operate their business, because they all do this and it works. 18 large. I haven't seen 18 large in forever. I lost 18 large on one hand in Reno.